Yes, it's another day. Jesus, you love me too much, oh, too much, oh, too much, oh, excess love, oh. My book is ready for today. It's another day for us to hear the stories that will change our lives forever. It's another day, it's another time. You're welcome. Nengi, I get to see you first today. I get to see you. It's Kiss and Tell with Auntie Kelechi. And if you've been a lover of stories, good stories, you will know that. You will know that we are prepared for you today. We are prepared to teach out a wonderful, a powerful story to you. Meanwhile, while we wait for our guests, can you just begin to enjoy this song? Let it wash you. Let it wash you. Hey. With so much peace and joy. You're amazing. Our guest is here. She's going to be using my PA's account because her phone is kind of faulty, so I'm going to be bringing her very shortly. You're not a man, you never lie. Have you ever thought of why we use this? I use this song as my opening glee. Why do I use this song? Because I've come to realize that everyone that I've featured on this Kiss and Tell, on this program, one thing has been common with them. It is that love of Jesus, the love of God. That love has kept them. That love has impacted upon them. That love has shaped them. That love has kept them going. It has molded them through the storms, through the trials, through the quakes, in uncomfortable situations. The love of God has brought them out of the dungeon. It has cleaned them up. So this will be our signature tune in Kiss and Tell until we find something else. Because we can't describe His love, whether you know it or not. And so welcome once again to Kiss and Tell with Auntie Kelechi. What is Kiss and Tell? Kiss and Tell is a platform where people get to share their true life experiences by themselves. So it's about real people, real stories, and real experiences. In case you missed last episode, it was awesome where we had Miss Chidera Muzirike. You can look for her story on this Instagram handle. You can look for it and then you watch it and see how resilience played a major role in shaping her life. And even the previous episode before Chidera's episode, today again, we are also looking at resilience from a young lady I am proud to call daughter, I'm proud to call sister, I'm proud to call everything you can think of. So we're going to be bringing her in shortly. But before we do that, can you begin to invite all your friends, begin to drop the link. Say, come and hear a story that will shape your life. Come and hear something that will help your life. Come and hear something that will make you get up from the fall. Maybe some people made one or two mistakes. They have been hiding in their secrets in the mistake. Go and tell the person, come and hear something that is going to build you, that is going to boost your faith, that is going to make you know that you're not the only one. Whether you fail, there are people that have fallen and yet they are doing well. Because it's not to fall. We have all fallen. I have fallen several times. But what differentiates A from B is the fact that A fell and rose, while B fell and remained there. So we are about to bring her in, and I want you to get ready to receive her with a loud clap. You know that Kiss and Tell it's not easy because we usually put them on the hot seats. We place them on the hot seat, so it is not easy for us to bring them. So once I bring her on, I want you to welcome her with a clap. So I'm about to bring my guest. Can my guest request to join? Adrian, can you request to join so that I can add her? Okay, so let me do it the other way. So she's going to be joining shortly. Okay. As she joined, oh great, she's here. Let's welcome our guest. See her beautiful face. I'm sure after today you are going to you marry today. See how you're fine, eh? I need to find very handsome husband for you. How are you doing? How are you? How are you doing? Can you hear me?
I'm fine, thank you, ma.
Yes. So, are you ready? I'm sure that there is fire on that seat where
I'm
you are
fine,
sitting.
thank
I
you.
hope the fire. I hope the fire is burning you. Is the fire
I'm
burning?
fine.
Because
I'm fine, thank you, ma.
yeah, it's your network. We've heard you. You need to listen very well so that
Good
we
evening,
can.
ma.
Good evening. Good evening. I hope you can hear me very well because you're kind of repeating yourself. So, I hope the fire is burning you where you are right now. Okay, so can you introduce yourself? Tell us who you are, what you do, and all that. I was thinking you people will use another network for this because I know that Adrian, your network is always bad. So I've asked that question. I don't know. I thought we're gonna use another network. Oh God. Adrian, I told you your network is always bad. I didn't know you were still going to use your network for this event. You don't listen to me, and that's why I don't like it. You know your Glow network is bad. So we apologize for that. They'll still invite our guest again. I've invited her, so we hope that she would soon be here with us. Her phone has a little problem, and so what we did was we had to bring her to a place where she can use somebody's phone because we didn't want to disappoint you. So can we get Adrian? I don't know where she is. Can we get you to join? I didn't want you to use your account because your network is bad, Adrian. I was thinking you will use another network. So can we get her online? Either somebody can give you maybe if Chidima has data, they can give you.
Just say something.
I didn't know you were going to use
Good evening, ma.
Adrian's Glow network. Good evening, I can hear you. Because I know that
Good
her
evening, ma.
network is bad. I was thinking you used like an
Can
MTN
you hear
network.
me?
I can hear you. I can hear you. Are you not? Can you not hear me? I can hear you clearly. Oh my God. Please, can we get to Adrian or Chidima and tell them that they are disturbing this flow? Okay, so please, can you introduce yourself to us? Just tell us who you are and all that. Well, this is where I'm going to have very big problem with Adrian because I told her her Glow network is bad. So I was thinking they're going to use maybe another network, which is like MTN and all that. If it's to get data, we can do that. But here we are with her Glow network that sucks. Okay, so we are going to keep trying and hopefully we'll get across to our guest. Our guest phone is bad, so she's using somebody else's account to come on. And the person's account she's using, the person has a very bad network. So I didn't know she was going to do that. She was still going to use her account rather. So I apologize for this. I'll keep adding them and hopefully something would come up. Okay, so I hope the network will be better now because so can you tell us about you? Just introduce yourself to us. Nigerian network. It is well with Nigerian network. I think there's somebody else there. Can we get to Adrian if we can use Chidima's account or the mother's account or something so that we can, I don't know, this just keeps, Adrian's network is bad and I didn't know we're going to be using her network. I thought our guest phone is in order. Please, I apologize for that. We'll keep trying to connect to her. Hers is a story that you just cannot afford to not listen to. And at the end of the story, you're going to see how God comes through for his people, how God loves us, how we get stronger and stronger in him despite the challenges or the storms of life that have hit us. So we just continue to trust God that their network will come through. And even though I know most of us are getting frustrated, I'm getting pissed. But let's just stay tuned and see what happens. If we can use, I don't know if there is another way we can do it. We would have used it another way to bring her in. Our guest, her phone is bad. And I didn't know, I just knew of it today. So I didn't know how else we can put her through. If someone can get to Adrian, tell her to use her mother's account, or somebody should give her Wi-Fi because her Glow network is bad. Somebody should give her Wi-Fi because the problem is the Glow network. That's actually what the problem is. For those of us, if we can use somebody's Wi-Fi, because we can't do a call. I would have said, let me call the guest so that we can hear her. I don't know. Would we like it that I will call and then she's going to answer the question on call? Maybe that's what we're going to do. I'm calling her right away. And let's see if she will take the call. Then we can place her, put it on speaker. We can hear her story. Because there's nothing we're going to do at this point. We're network stuck. So do not lose interest. I'm trying to call her. She's not online. I don't know why they are not online. Okay, so can we get to Messi? Because this young girl is not even online. She's supposed to be online because we're not.
See, I'm trying to use her hotspots. That's what she's telling me.
Okay, she's trying to use her hotspots. Whose hotspots? Mercy.
No.
Austin. Okay. Okay, so report reaching me. They will soon fix it. They're trying to use another hotspot to get this done. Because I know that Adrian does not listen and her network is poor. That's just the problem. So please bear with us. We're going to get her back. But if she's online, I would have called her and then we can interview her even through WhatsApp. You just hear her voice because we've already seen who she is. And then we'll just hear her voice and then we go on. Kiss and tell would hold. It's just, sorry, we're taking your time. Have they succeeded so that we can bring her in? Please, can we keep reaching out to them so that they can be fast? Or she can just take the call on WhatsApp. it's best. We can still do it on WhatsApp. She will be listening to my questions and then she'll be responding, and the guests can hear her, because we already have the problem of network. So I could also do that. Let's not worry, it's going to be awesome. Can we make her to take the call on WhatsApp? Please, team, can we make her take the call on WhatsApp? And those of us in Rainbow Youths, can we please reach out to Adrian and tell them to take the call on WhatsApp? If there's a way you can call her, not on online, call her on normal call. Tell her that I want to speak to the guest on WhatsApp. So she should put on her data, and we'll do that on WhatsApp. So Kelly or Christabel or Precious Chris, can we do that, please? Okay. While I minute something for my team here. Okay, so what they will do. So I can call her on WhatsApp, and please, is there anyone that was able to reach out to Adrian so that we can talk to Precious Chris? Have you reached out to Adrian so we can talk to them on WhatsApp? Let's talk to them on WhatsApp. If you forget about the Instagram video, since we can't find them. I don't want to tell her story. If not, I would have started, but the story is not about me, so we'll have to wait for her to come. I apologize. I'm still trying to get them to be on WhatsApp. Did anybody reach out to Toye? Did anybody get to Toye so that we can follow up the speaker on WhatsApp? I can call on WhatsApp. I can't call her from here. I'm not in Nigeria. So we can call on WhatsApp, and then we'll take this thing. We'll take her story. Is it possible that did anybody get to her? We don't want them to fix it. R.A.I.N.B.O.W, they're trying to fix it. They shouldn't fix. They should just come on WhatsApp. I want to call on WhatsApp. Then she will just sit comfortably, and we'll take her on WhatsApp. I'm just going to place the phone close to my phone, and we can hear her. Already we saw her, right? We already saw her, because this network is going to continue like this, and we don't have all the time. Okay, so I'm still trying. Can we get to them? Not to try to connect on Instagram. Is there somebody that can help me do that? Who is here that can help me call and tell them to come on WhatsApp? Rita Austin, please, can you come on WhatsApp? So while we're still trying to get our guests, please bear with me. We're still trying to. Nigerian network sucks. Like, it's terrible. It really sucks. It's so annoying. I'm still trying to see what I can do. So please. Why is she not taking her? Okay, Precious says she's not taking her call. Precious, is it Toye or is it Rita that is not taking her call? Which of them is not taking her call? Can we send it? Precious, can you send a text to Toye and tell her that Rita should put on her data? I want to take her on WhatsApp. She should put on her data. I want to take her on WhatsApp. They should not bother trying to connect on Instagram. Okay, can you call Rita? I don't know why she's not taking her call. Can you call Rita so that Rita can join on WhatsApp? If you do have Rita's number, please, can you do that? Thank you. Thank you, Precious. They shouldn't bother about the Instagram. She should just come up. She was on WhatsApp. I don't know why she's not there anymore. Our time is really going, but we'll still take her. And it's my phone I'm using. I would have used my phone to track where she is. I can't do much because I'm using my phone to come online. So, sorry? Is it on now? Okay, because my messages has not dropped. Okay, so Rita, it's ringing. We can take her. Put it on speaker. Hello, Rita. Our network is waving. Rita, you always, I don't know. Hello, Rita. Please just bear with me, all right? I'm still trying to call her. This has never happened in Kiss and Tell. I'm still trying to connect with her. She's calling me. I'm trying to connect. It's not connecting. You're welcome. You're welcome. Our guest, we're trying to connect with on WhatsApp and it's not connecting. Rita, I don't know why your call is not going through. Hello, Rita. Hello? Is it Tonye's house that is even worsening the thing or what? Please, we're so sorry. Please, we are so sorry. I apologize for this. I totally apologize for this. Not to worry. If we don't take her today, we'll take her tomorrow, next week. I don't know. I don't know if you can see it's connecting, but I can't hear her, you know. Okay, we'll just keep trying. If we don't succeed by once it's 7:30, we'll exit. Rita. Hello, Rita. Can you speak out? I can't hear you because the audience need to hear you.
I can hear you. Good evening, ma'am.
You and Tonya, I don't know what to say to the two of you, but after the event. So please, if you can hear us, the guests, if you can hear us, please, can you just say yes, you can hear her. So Rita, you have already wasted all our time, but there is no problem. So can you introduce yourself so that they can hear you?
Yes, ma'am. Good evening, everyone. I'm the person of Austin Rita Ogechi. I'm from River State, Omokme town precisely, and I base here in Port Harcourt, River State.
Okay, is that all?
Yes, ma'am. I'm an ND holder of Niger Delta City Polytechnic, Imo State, in Olu community.
Okay.
And I'm a hairstylist. I make hair. I sell ladies' innerwears, and I'm a Christian.
Okay. Please, if you can. Okay, they say I can hear you, Rita. Great. Okay, Rita, can you quickly tell us what has happened to you so that I can proceed with my question? Because me, I've heard the story, but the audience here, they have not heard the story and they are itching to hear the story. So it's time to shoot.
Okay, ma. It all happened 2018, April 23rd, on a Monday, on my way to work. I was actually heading to work. My place of work at GRA. So while I was on my way going, I stopped around I was around water lines to get the vehicle that was heading towards Ajib Road. While on my way, I mistakenly entered the wrong vehicle. So while I was inside the vehicle, I overheard the guy at the front. He was like, "Driver, drop me here. He's them to drop." So the guy quickly came down and gave the dollar $1. Why he gave the driver $1, the driver was like amazed. So he asked the man, like, "I've never seen such money before. Where are you from?" So the guy started speaking French. He was speaking this very strange language while I was seated at the back. So I told the driver, "Please, I'm heading to work and I'm very late." So the driver said to me, "I should hold on, that maybe, I don't know if he's a good Samaritan." So the man later came back inside the vehicle and he was like, "He's not from here, he's not from Nigeria, he's from outside the country. He came with lots of things. He came with iPads, he came with laptops." He was saying a lot of things. So me, on my own, I was like, I'm already late. Please, can we leave here? So he started talking to me. He said I should calm down, that God wants to help me. He's going to help me. That I should calm down. So he started talking to me. He said he's looking for where. He started telling me as the driver that he's looking for where to get chemicals. That if we could help him, he's going to give me things. He's going to give me iPads. He's going to give me laptop. On my own, I didn't really listen to him, but I was like, let's go. But suddenly, I don't know why, after some time, I found more interest. Like, I was more interested in his discussion, in his words. So I said, okay, no problem. I don't know where to get the chemical. I don't know there. But the driver said he knows. We are going to take you there. So he came inside the vehicle. We all moved down to Rumola, Ebony Road. There's a place they call Ebony Road, Rumola in Port Harcourt. We went there and he came down from his vehicle. Before he came down, while we were on our way going, he brought out an envelope. This envelope, there was nothing inside. He brought out the envelope and he was like, he's going to do a magic and this envelope is going to turn to money. So he said he needs water and the driver said he has water. So the driver brought the pure water in his vehicle, in his car, and gave it to him. So he gave it to me. He asked me to pour the water on the envelope. Surprisingly, when I poured the water on the envelope turned to $1 at my, like, it was just like it was a dream. It turned to $1. So he turned to me and said, this is how this envelope that I'm holding, that turned to this $1. He has lots of them. He has millions of them. So if we are going to listen to him, he's going to give to us more of them, and the money is going to be ours. So I was like, wow. So then we came down, went to the Ebony Road. He came down, he entered the street, came back and said the place he kept the laptop and iPads and the envelope that is to turn to $1, he couldn't find the reverend sister that he gave it to. So he came back, and on my own, I didn't know. Firstly, I didn't know that him himself and the driver, they were one. I didn't know they were working together and they were just using me. I never knew. So after then, we drove to Rumokuta. So he was telling me a lot of things. He was saying that they don't eat fish. They don't eat crayfish. He was saying a lot of things. So after some while, he asked me if I do eat crayfish, and I told him yes. He said, that enter, that this one I do eat crayfish, that I'm in serious issue, I'm in serious problem. So I was like, how? He said they don't eat crayfish. When he was little, he went to a river to take his bath, and a fish swallowed him, and he was seeing a lot of things. So that was the reason why he doesn't eat crayfish, he doesn't eat fish. That me, I do eat fish, and he has told me a lot of things about himself. He has told me his secret, that for me to he was like, there's a charm around me. Everything he said, that there's a charm around me. So for those charms to leave me, or for those things to leave me, that I'm going to go to my place of work. He asked me where my place of work is. I told him. So he said, I'm going to go there. I should bring, because where I was working, I was actually working for a lady as GRA phrase too. So where I was working, we do sell earrings, pendants, shoes, clothes in GRA. Most of us here in Port Harcourt know that GRA, they sell expensive things. So we were selling expensive things there. So he said, I'm going to go down there. I should carry all the jewelries. He was seeing a lot of things. On my own, I never knew what I was doing. I was scared, because he said if I don't bring those things, he needs to remove the charm inside of me. Due to what he said, that if I don't bring those things, I'm going to die. So I was scared, and I wasn't normal. There was a charm working on me, so I wasn't myself. So he said, if anybody calls me, I should make sure I don't take the call. I should make sure I don't pick the call. I should just do any instruction he gives to me. I should go on with it. So he asked me to go down to the shop. I was with my phone. So that was when I met them, was around 8 a.m. the morning. We were together till around 11 a.m. So when I got to the shop, it was after 11. I checked my phone, it was after 11. I was so scared. So when I went to the shop, I just opened the shop, and I was packing things from the shop. I was not myself, I was packing things. So my neighbor came and said, now why are you coming now? So you are packing things, where are you going to? I lied to him that I was going to sell one of our customers, a regular customer, wants to buy things. So she asked me to bring them. So I packed everything. And when I was packing those things, the call came in. Someone called me. So I remember the word, what he said to me, that I shouldn't take any call. I never knew that. I took that call, that charm would have left me. But I was scared. He gave me an instruction. I said, I'm going to keep it. I'm not going to pick any calls. Nobody should call me. So I brought out those things. They were waiting for me at R.A.I.N.B.O.W. So I went down there. I gave them those stocks. So he said, okay, for us to complete the charm, I gave them the jewelries, the pendants. I gave them watch. Each watch we were selling then, each watch we sold then was 55,000 naira. I packed as many as, I can't even remember. I packed everything and I gave to him. So he said for us to complete the stuff, that we need to go to Rumokuta. So we drove down to Rumokuta roundabouts. And he said for us to complete everything, he's going to pass like 7 poles. Once he passed 7 poles, I'm going to come down. Then I'll go to Rumokuta Junction. There's a church at Rumokuta Junction as of there. I don't know if the church is still there. St. Francis Church, a Catholic church. He said I'm going to walk down to the junction. At the front of the church, I should pick a sand. Then I should come back. That is what is going to use and round up everything, and it's going to take the stuff off my body. So I was scared. I came down from the vehicle. When I came down, okay, I did not just give him my mother's properties. Like, I did not just give him everything from the shop. I withdrew everything. I withdrew my money in my account. I gave him my ATM card, the shop key, my phone. Everything was in the vehicle when I came down, because I wasn't myself. I went down to St. Francis Junction, which is Rumokuta Junction. I picked the stamp. On my coming back, while I was walking down from a very far distance, I wasn't sighting any car, because I know there was a car there. So I was like, maybe this is a dream. I moved front, and on my reaching there, that was when it came to my knowledge that they have drove off. So I was like, God, this is a dream. It's just immediately, just as if something left me, and I came to realize that this was actually, these people are not real. So I was in shock. At that spot, I was crying. I was like, God, what kind of thing is this? It's not like I gave them everything that belongs to me. I gave them my madam's, like the jewelry, everything, pendants. I gave them everything. I was so scared. Like, Immediately, I saw someone. There was a guy that was coming out from the street. He gave me 500 naira. I was like, how am I going to do? Because now I don't have anything in me. I'm just empty. Where am I going to start from? What am I going to do? After then, the guy gave me 500 naira. I drove down to now. This time, as of then, it was 3 after 3. You could see from that money period what I was going through today after 3. It was after 3 in the afternoon. So I collected the 500 naira. I explained everything that happened. He was like, "Child, that this is 419 that I've entered." So he consoled me. It said that God is going to help me. I collected the 500 naira. From there, I entered to my 3. So on getting to my 3, my mindset, I was like, okay, now since my key is inside their car, I couldn't get the shop key, my madam's shop key. Let me see if I can see any way I can get on my mindset now, because I don't even know. In fact, I was so tattered. I was confused. So I went to my 3. I was trying to look for help. I went to a shop, a key shop. So I was begging them. I explained everything that happened. So they started laughing at me. They were like, that you have entered. They were like, "Che, it's a pity. Sorry, yeah." So I don't even know what to do at that moment. So they asked me to go and look away and report everything that happened to my madam. That there's no way they can come down to my madam's shop and break the shop, because I needed someone that was going to come down to the shop and break the shop, and maybe I will have to calculate everything that I took from the shop. So the guy told me that he can't do such things. I should just look for a way out. So I left. I didn't even enter a vehicle. From that my 3, I had to trek down to Abacha Road, GRA Phase 2. I had to trek down there. As I was going along the Abacha Road, there was this man I met. The man was actually with his boy. He was looking very rich, and I was like, God, if I can actually meet this man, and if he could actually listen to me or maybe help me, because he was looking at me while I was walking down. He was looking at me. So I thought maybe this particular man would feel pity for me. So I went down to him, and he was like, "Fine girl, why is your face like this?" I explained everything to him. So he said I shouldn't worry, that I should enter his car. So he will go and we'll sit somewhere and we'll talk. So on my own then, I needed help. I don't know what to do. I followed him. We entered his car. So we went down to opposite Casablanca at that Abacha Road. We went close to opposite Casablanca. Went to a restaurant. We sat down. So I was explaining everything to him. He now said to me that it's very simple. You know what happens these days? You will give me what you have, and I will give you what I want to give to you. So as of then, I was on my knees because I was shattered. I didn't even know what to do. I don't even know who to call, because they took my phone, everything. So as if everything about me was empty as of then. So I needed help desperately. So I knelt down and I was pleading to him. I was crying to him. I said, "Please, if you can actually help me." He said it doesn't work that way, that he cannot help me, that I should leave. So he asked me to leave, and his boy asked me to leave. So I stood up. I was crying. I stood up from there, so I had to go back to the shop. As of then, it was already 7 in the night. So when I went down to the shop, there's nothing I can do. I just think I just need to go and report myself. So I went to the shop. I went to my neighbor. Opposite, they do sell cosmetics. So I went to them, and luckily, the owner of the shop was around, which is my madam's friend. So she came and she was like, "What happened? Rita, since morning, this shop has been locked. What happened?" So I explained everything to her. So at that spot, she shouted, and she said, "What?" So immediately she picked up her phone and she called my mother. She explained everything to my mother. And the only thing my mother did was she just smiled. She smiled and said she don't have anything to say, that she's going to talk to me the next morning. So as of then, I was staying out with my cousins at Ebelu. So, and then they have been looking for me. They have been trying to reach me. So when I went to the house that night, I called them and I explained everything that happened to them. So they were all in shock.
Okay,
So
so
they were
I'm going to cut you. I'm going to cut you so we can get to. I want you to hit the main points, not the plenty stories. So what happened when your madam found out the next day? What happened? I want you to take us to the points where I want to ask you the main questions. So forget. I don't want to hear stories about you told your cousins. You told your no. I want you to hit the nail on the head.
okay. The next morning when I went to the shop, the elder brother came that normally sells with me in the shop. He came down to the shop and he was asking me questions. I explained to him. I never knew that my madam already called him to call some policemen from Abacha police station. So he went down there and I was still at the shop trying to calculate. So when I checked the calculation and when he was checking, he found out that the money that was missing from the things I gave out to those people was $1 million plus.
Wow.
So yes, was $1 million plus. So at that spot, I started crying. I was rolling on the floor. So he went down to Abacha police station. He brought the policemen. They came down to the shop. It was around 3 after 3 in the afternoon. They came down to the shop, and that was how I was arrested. I was arrested and I was taken to Abacha police station, where I wrote my statement. When I went there, they asked me to write a statement. On my own, I've not been in a police station before. What statement? I asked and they told me. They were so mean to me. They were strict. They said I should write my statement. They were calling me thief. They were calling me names of something I know I never did. I was devastated. So at that spot, I wrote down my statement. I was there. Nobody to call. They said they want to put me in fear that if I have anybody to call, I should call now. If not, it's going to be worse for me after now. I was explaining to them, who am I going to call? My phone, they took my phone. There is no way to reach any of my relations. So they said, that is my business. So I never spoke with anybody. As of then, like from that morning, because I couldn't eat, my stomach was empty. I couldn't eat anything. So it was already evening. Okay, this incident happened 2018, April 23rd. So the next day, which is April 24th, in the evening time, that was when they took me inside the cell. And when I was moving down there, it was actually a female policewoman that was taking me there. So when I was moving down there, she was like, she opened the door and I found out that the place she wanted to throw me in was very dark and was smelling. So I asked her if I can actually get wrapper. So she laughed and said, it's like I don't know where I am. I think I'm in my mother's house. I'm actually in a police station. So that was how I was thrown inside there. The place was so dark. I was alone. So I started crying my eyes out. And at that point, I couldn't pray. I couldn't do anything. All I was saying, I was asking a lot of questions. And I was asking those questions to God. I was like, God, why? Why me? Why must it be me? Like, I've gone through a lot. And I just wanted to be a better person by working on my own. So why would such thing fall on me? Why must it be me? I was asking a lot of questions. The next day, I woke up and the first person I heard her voice was my elder sister. She came. I don't know how she got the information. She just came to the station. She started crying. She started shedding tears. She was like, is this how I want to end my life? That what is happening to me? Why am I here? If I'm holding anything that belongs to my mother, I should please release it to her. So I was explaining to her, look at what happened, but my mother does not want to believe me. So she was crying. She was trying to talk to the IPO, and the man just looked at her and said she should go and meet my madam, that my madam is the one holding my case. So she cried and she couldn't do anything as of then. She left. She just gave me some money to get something, then she left. She said she's going back to my hometown, which is R.A.I.N.B.O.W, because she came from there that day, so she had to go back. So on my own, I was like, this is just the end of me. I was not having any hope. I was not having any feeling in me that God is actually going to see me through. Because as of then, because she said it's only when I return her 1 million plus, that is when she's going to release me. So I know that even if I have to work, how will I even going to work while I'm there? And she said they shouldn't release me. even if my family is very good, like we're very rich, so even if I have to, there's no way I can actually work and pay her 1 million plus. So while I was there, I actually saw a girl. They brought her the next day. This girl was actually also duped too. She was duped of 1.8 million naira by that same 419 people. They duped her. She was actually working for a pilot, and that was how she collected money. I don't know how she gave them. Her own was dollar. She gave them dollar, and that was how she was arrested. So she started complaining. She started crying. So I was there. I stayed there for 1 week, and my case was still going. They were like, "Why is it that nobody is coming for you? We don't keep females here more than 1 week. Why is it that nobody is coming for me? You're just here." So I was there. I was crying and all that. So the next day,
So I want to cut you short. The 1 week you stayed in the prison, how would you describe your mental state? How would you describe it?
Okay, the 1 week I was there.
In the prison, in the cell,
yes.
rather.
No, in the cell. Yes, the 1 week I was in the cell. I wasn't eating. Number one, there was mosquitoes bite, and everywhere was smelling. I wasn't allowed to go out.
So how did you urinate? How did you defecate? No, how did you bath and all that?
There was a bucket. There was a bucket inside. They brought the bucket. So I wasn't allowed to go out. And like all of me was eaten by mosquitoes. The window was open, everywhere was smelling. I was just like someone that is homeless, that don't have any relations, or maybe I don't know. So after the next day, that girl that they took the 1.8 million, the next day, SARS people came and they carried her. That was that. I don't even know how her case ended, because her case was so high, and the boss she was working for handled her case to SARS. So that was how they carried her. And as of then, I was hearing that anybody that they transfer his or her case to SARS, the person's own is finished. So that was how they carried her. And the most shocking thing was, I was there before this lady, and they carried her, and I was still there. So it was already approaching 2 weeks, and nothing was being said, nothing was done about my case. That was when I started crying to God. I was praying, and I was begging God, if there's any way I've actually sinned, He should show me mercy. So luckily, the next day, the IPO called me and said that my madam has agreed to withdraw my case, but they have to bring someone that is going to sign a shorty for me, because as of then, she was not around. She was a doctor as of then, so she was not around. She works at R.A.I.N.B.O.W. She was in 2 weeks in, 2 weeks off, so she wasn't around. So that was the reason why I stayed much there in the set. So she agreed that they should bring someone that is going to sign a shorty for me, that I'll be released. Then I'll be back in a week time. So that was how the person came. We were looking for someone. As of then, my dad was very strong. He's late now though, so he was very strong.
Your dad was very strong, or your dad was very sick? Which one? Please don't give us the Nigerian English. Tell us the way it is.
My dad was very sick as of then.
Good. Tell us. Don't try that brainwashing religious thing. If you're sick, you are sick. So your dad was very sick. Good.
Yes, ma'am. My dad was very sick. He couldn't walk, so he had to call a friend of his that came, and the next day, and the day that his friend came to sign the shorty, that was the same day they brought, because the DPO was so mad. I don't know what happened. The devil just turned his face on me. He was like, they should take this girl here. They should take her to SARS. What is she doing here? Her stay is due. They should take her out of here. So I didn't know God was actually working for my favor, but had it been they took me there, I don't know what would have become of me. So they came that day. SARS people came that morning to take me down there. They have already signed everything that belongs to me, my document. They have handed it over to them. So that was the day my daddy's friend came, and he pleaded and pleaded. So I was released. I was later released, and that was how I went home. So that same day, my dad had called me and said I should return back home, and I went back home that same day. So when I got back to the house, my dad saw me and he was crying.
No. We need to cut up those emotional parts. Okay, so I want you to tell us how you ended in prison, because here you were in cell. So, but the story, there is a prison to it. So I want you to go straight to what now took you to prison, because we don't have time. I need to ask you questions.
Okay, ma. After I was released, and in 1 week time I was called back. I and my daddy's friend went back to the cell. So when we went back to the cell, they were discussing, and my daddy's friend brought up a discussion. He said he himself has actually been duped before. So my mother got upset and said, I'm going to be retained back at the cell. So I was like, I was very angry. I was like, why did I even? I wish I knew. I would have ran. I wouldn't have come back. So that was retained back. The next day, I was brought out and I was taken to court. That was how my case went to court. So when we went to court that day, court wasn't on hold. They were on holiday. So that was how I was taken to Degima prison.
Good. So that's where I want
Yes,
to. I want you to.
Prison, and yes, that was when I was taken to. It was on a Friday. Sorry, it was on a Thursday. That was when I was taken to Degima prison because court was on hold. So they couldn't do anything about my case that day. That was when I was taken to Degima prison.
So I want you to tell us how it was in the prison. So were you in the female prison? Because viewers, please, can we start dropping? Don't just be listening. The essence of Kiss and Tell. Don't be carried away. Be dropping the link in the inboxes of your friends so that they can join. Make post on Facebook and send to their WhatsApp to join us, so that it won't just be you that is listening to the story. You don't know who you are going to be helping by this story. So I'm seeing a lot of us, Rainbow White, you're not doing anything, you're not dropping the link, you're not doing anything. That's not nice. And so Rita, I want to ask you before you proceed, I want to find out, how was it in the Degema prison? Was it the female prison you were in or something else?
Yes, ma, it was in the female prison.
So how was it?
Female section. When I went down to the prison and my name was being registered, I went down there, I saw a lot of prisoners, I saw male prisoners, I saw female prisoners, and I was at the female section. And that was on a Thursday. So that same evening, when they cooked and they brought their food, we should actually call it food because it wasn't really looking nice. The face of it, pepper soup is even better than it. And if you see the way these prisoners were rushing it, they were grateful for it. Like they were rushing it. So the beans they prepared the next day, and the beans they prepared and they brought to them, there was no oil in it. The color was white, and they were eating it with gratitude. They were rushing it. I was like, God, is this how life in prison is? Is this how people are suffering? Like there's a lot of in prison. So when I went to prison, I actually found out that we're not really praying here. There's actually prayer warriors, because every morning the way guys pray, and they always beg, and they always wish they can actually see, because they're what they call there the inside world, and they call here the freedom world, because then they are not free. They go through a lot. They see a lot of things. They see a lot of pain, hurts. They are not free. So that's what they call here. So they were going a lot. They were going through a lot. The food, they were grateful for it. And even if you reject the food, the way the warders will so flog them and beat them, they'll say, you want to waste government food that you have to eat it. They'll also scare them and all that. So after then, while I was in that prison, there were churches there and all that.
So you were eating the food?
No, ma, I wasn't eating the food.
So why didn't the wardens beat you?
Sorry, ma.
I said, why didn't the prison wardens beat you? You said they beat prisoners when they reject the food.
Yeah. They don't beat female prisoners. They don't beat female prisoners. They don't beat them because ours is very far from the male owned, so we're different. The warder there the female warder there was a very nice lady, so she wasn't harsh. So after then, I came in contact with a guy. They call him Worry Boy. He said the reason why he's here was because he He actually played someone 419. He actually played someone 419. That was the reason why he's there. That he has been here for years. And when I found out that,
how did you meet him? Sorry, I don't want you to be too. You're confusing us. You were in female prison. How did you meet a guy in male prison?
How I met him was they are in charge of the cook. They cook food. Like in prison, there are head people that used to cook. They don't eat what the other prisoners eat. They have their special food.
And so they are actually prisoners, right?
Yes, they're also prisoners, but I think they call them ex-convicts.
Okay.
They have been there for 15 years and all that. So he brought food for me. So I asked him, there's an entrance, just a small door that looked through. So that was how he was able to give me the food. And I asked him, because it was night, I asked him to explain.
Okay, so I'm going to ask you, because I'm very much interested in your mental health, not the plenty stories. When you were in the prison, you didn't bath, you were in the inside ward or whatever they call it. How was it for you there?
When I was in the prison, it was very terrible for me. Though I could be able to take my bath, but it was very terrible because everywhere was dark. There was no light. Like everywhere was so scary, and mosquitoes bite and all that. And the early morning duties, they normally call the guys for early morning duties. They torture them, they beat them. But with the female, they don't do anything to us. But the male, they torture them, they beat them. And there was a lot of violence there. Fire was there. So it wasn't really a good one. It wasn't a positive one at all. It was so terrible.
How long did you spend in the prison?
I stayed 6 days.
6 days.
Yes, ma'am.
So what changed about your case? Straight to the point.
So, okay, ma'am. So after then, when I came out, I went down to the court. When we went down to court, they said they are going to release me. They charged me for stealing. So they said they are going to release me with the sum of. They said they are going to release me with property of 600,000 naira. But they have to extend my case. I'm going to come back on the 5th of July. That's it. I was going to return back. So my dad's friend ran around, and I was able to release that bill. That was released, and I went back to my. So when I went back to my hometown, I was faithfully waiting for that day. On my own, I was chattered. I was like, let me just call. Anything I want to happen, let it happen. So on that, 2 days to that day, I went to my father's friend. I met him and I told him that, okay, they already called me. We should go back to Port Harcourt. The court day is already closed. And what he said to me, he said he can just do something simple. That I should just sleep with him. He asked me to sleep with him. That he's going to talk to my madam. He's going to end the case. My madam is doing power, like she has power. He's going to show her that he has more power than he, that she just sleep. That was what he said to me. And I was wow. I was shocked. I was surprised. I was like, is it the one saying something? An elderly man, my dad's friend. So I started crying. I said, you should help me. And as of then, my dad and my elder sister, they were so tired of the whole thing that they had to turn their back on. It even got to an extent, they were like, actually did it. They said they were tired of me. Ever since they gave it to me, it's never put anything positive. They were tired, so they all backed up. So I was the only one. So when I went to him and he said something to me, I was crying. So he refused going with me because I refused sleeping with him. Of course, I refused. So on that day, I went alone to Port Harcourt. When I went to Port Harcourt, I came in contact with my madam and the R.A.I.N.B.O.W. They were all seated waiting for me. And people with their different cases, they were there. So I just went to the prison and to the court. I just fell down on the floor there. I started crying because I know there was no way out. There was no more hope. My daddy's friend is not here. who is going to help me? The lawyer said I should bring 5,000 naira, which I was now having 5,000 naira to give to him for my parents in court. So he didn't come for me. So I just lied on my bed crying. So one of the one that came and was like, why am I crying? So I explained everything to him. He said I shouldn't worry. He went inside and called my madam and the I.P.O. So they were discussing it out. I had her shouting. She said, had it been my best friend was very calm with her, this case wouldn't have gotten to this extent. So she just said something and she was speaking angrily. So she later went back inside. So the one that came to me said I shouldn't worry, I should just go inside. I was trying to ask him what my madam said. He said I shouldn't worry, I should just go inside and God is going to do his part. So I was inside. Immediately they called me. I stood up. I was on tears. I went on to the where I'm supposed to stand. So the judge stood up and said, so you were charged of stealing. So the lawyer, my mother's lawyer, came up. Okay, as before then, the warden had to talk to one of the lawyers that stood for me. The lawyer actually came and said, I shouldn't worry, he's going to stand for me. I was surprised, I was shocked. So as of then, I was not having someone to stand for me. I was having a lawyer. So my mother and lawyer stood up and said that the case that was charged on me has been withdrawn by her, that I'm not free. So when he said this, I was so shocked. Like it was like a shock to me. I was surprised. I was like, is this how is it just it? Is this how I'm just going to be free like that? One point something because is this I'm not going to pay like I'm going to be free? I was surprised. I was like, so God could actually come through for me. Despite everything I went through, he could actually come through for me. So after then, my madam stood up and I went outside and I met her and I was apologizing to her. So the only thing she said to me, she said she don't have to charge this thing. That it was actually God that touched her heart that if she decides to further it, she has seen that I'm going to suffer it and nobody's going to come through for me. So it was just God. I should just thank God. So I was grateful, I started thanking God, and that was how the case ended. And that was how I was freed.
Okay, so how did you handle the thought or experience of being stigmatized? Because I know that in Africa, in Nigeria, when you've gone to cell and gone to prison, there's this stigma that is attached to it. So did it define you, or how did you handle it?
Yes, it did. When I went back to my hometown, there was rumors and people were saying a lot of things that I stole my madam's properties. And while I was walking in my street, most of them were looking at me because they had I've been to prison, I've been there. This was what I went through. I don't know how it got to them, but it was rumors. It got to them and they were talking about it. So I felt I was feeling ashamed. It wasn't an easy one for me. It wasn't really an easy one for me. It was so heavy for me. But then I had to leave that area to my elder brother's place.
So how did you pick up your life after the incident?
After the incident, God actually came through for me. God actually came through for me. After the incident, because there is a thing that they say, in every disappointment there is a blessing. So God actually came through for me. I was given a scholarship by someone in power in my community, and that was how I was able to go to school. Because I never dreamed that one day I'll be university student. So that was how I was able to go to school, and for free. That was how I was able to go to school.
So what positive or negative lessons did you learn from your experience? What lessons did you learn?
The lessons I learned from my experience is I believe that for someone to have a story, for someone to actually have a glory, you must have a story. So I believe that it was God actually wanted to go through what I went through, so I can actually touch lives. Because with this my experience, I know of so many persons that I've encountered. I know of so many persons I've spoken to that it has helped. There was a lady I spoke to that was thinking of committing suicide. When I was explaining my story to her, she started shedding tears. she was crying. She said, if I can actually go through this hurt, this pain, and I can still skate through, I can still speak out, why won't she go? Why won't she stand? Why won't she be like me? So it has actually touched life. It has actually helped so many persons.
Okay, so I'm going to ask you something, and you said God allowed you. I'm going to ask you. We're very religious in Nigeria and Africa. Do you think it was God that allowed you, or greed, your interest for wealth or money, that made you go through that?
Yes, I'll be playing. I'll say it was my interest for money.
Good.
But greed.
It was greed. Good.
Yes,
good.
Greed.
I like us picking the main thing and not ascribing everything to God. Because I know there are people listening to us. Most times, these 419 guys, they use the same ploy, the same method, the same system, the same strategy. They come by telling there is money that they need to change, or the person does not understand English, the person has a lot of dollars, he needs to change it. They come with the same story. And the first point of getting their victim is interest. Their victims get big interest because of greed. You need to make more money. So the interest is there. And so they are able to catch you. But if I've been in a taxi and the driver and somebody, they were talking about, in Nigeria, they were talking about, he was acting like he doesn't know how to speak English, that he's having is it pound or dollar. I just told the driver, will you stop this car? Let me get down. The wife shouted, they just stopped it. Even they didn't let me get down, they drove off. Because I don't want to pick interest. It comes with interest, and then you want to make so much money, and then they now begin to hypnotize the person. Because if you don't show interest, and you just tell them, if you don't drop me, they will drop you and say, this is on a bad market. So for every one of us listening, don't think that everything that happened is God that brought all the bad things to you. Sometimes we should sit down and look at ourselves and know where we fail. Our mistakes always open the door for certain things to happen to us. But the good news is that God always makes a way for his children. That doesn't mean that some people that are still in the prison that are not God's children. That's not what I'm trying to say. So the next question I want to ask is, did you ever go back to apologize to your employer after that time? Did you ever go back to, to reconnect with or something? Did you make that effort?
After the incident, I moved back to my hometown. I moved back to my hometown because I couldn't connect. And the pain was much. The next I needed to go to an area.
So you never went back to your. That means you've never gone back to the woman to still,
I did. The time I went back for that same. Okay, the only I passed through that and I saw the top. She has passed up. There was a chemist. So after that incident, because there was a lot of, so I knew that she passed up. So I couldn't.
Your network is breaking. I'm going to ask you, did you ever feel that you contributed to her closing her business?
Yes, ma, I did. It was due to what happened. Due to the jewelry pendant and watch I took. Just as if almost all practice dead, but the things left was just the shoes. The rest, the pendants were so much costly. So I contributed to her loss.
So how did you feel about it? Did you try to go back and find a way to beg her and all that?
I did. I tried, but when I went back to Port Harcourt, I found out that the shop, she has moved out of the shop and there is someone else there.
Okay.
So I couldn't locate her.
I understand, because I remember you said that the 419 guys, they took your phone, so you don't have her contact. Yes. Okay, so I'm going to ask you one quick question as we're about to round up. What can you make out of your story? Was it a turning point for you?
For me, my story was actually a turning point for me. It was a positive one for me because at the end, I was able to achieve a lot of things. I was able to go to school. It's actually made me who I am today. It's actually groomed me, the woman I am today actually made me strong. It actually made me to stand firm. It actually made me to be strong despite challenges. It's helped me. So what I went through really, because I was able to go to school, number one, and after that I was able to meet with a lot of persons. There were some persons I told my story and they were like, wow. A lot of persons helped me. I was able to, and today I'm doing real good in my business, in my Christian life. I'm doing so well. So I didn't mean I never, because the life I was living then wasn't in line with God. I wasn't living a good life. The life I was living there, I wasn't going to church, to be plain. I wasn't going to church. I wasn't really strong with my Christian life. So the experience I went through helped me to reconnect back with God, helped me to come back to Him, and
glory be to God.
Really,
so I'm going to ask you a question, because you made a point. You said the life you were living that time, you're just living a flippant kind of lifestyle. So why didn't you sleep with your father's friend? Because of course it was what you were doing. So why did you not sleep with him to save your neck? What was the reason?
the life I wasn't sleeping, man. I was very conscious of myself. I was very conscious of my body. I wasn't sleeping with men. That was the reason why I did. But I could actually think of sleeping with, because he said he actually helped me and remove everything. Yes, I was looking for a way to be free, because he was the only one in line. He was the only one that would help me as of then. So it was very easy for me to just accept. Nobody would know. But I refused the offer because I know it wasn't right, and it would have created a hole, like a grief in my heart. So that was the reason why I refused.
Okay.
And that was why I said to God, anything that would happen should happen.
Okay.
I'm ready to face anything.
Okay. Thank you so much. So I think this is the last point I'll take with you. Thank you so much for coming. In as much as network tried to mess us up, we're still able to take you. So thank you. Let me conclude. God bless you, Rita. And then one last thing. What is your advice to the youth or somebody listening to you? What is your advice, your candid advice?
My advice to my fellow ladies out there, my advice to you all is this: no matter what you are going through, no matter any challenges, no matter any struggle, no matter any hurt, no matter any pains, me myself, I don't have anyone. I'm an orphan. I lost my mom since when I was 2. So despite what I've been through, despite my challenges, despite the rejection, the things I blamed on myself, I don't allow it to eat me up. I was still able to strong. And thank God I came in contact with Kelechi, because she really affected my life positively. She really helped me. Thank God I came in line with her. So her presence in my life also changed a lot of things. Because as of then, I would always say to myself, I'm a curse. I will always condemn myself. I say a lot of negative things about myself. But now I will be able to boast of myself. I can't remember saying I'm a curse. I'm being rejected. I don't do that, because I learned a lot of things. So my advice to you guys is, no matter any pains, no matter any hurts, maybe you're having challenges in your school, maybe whoever you're staying with, you might be having a lot of challenges. But I just want to let you know to stick to God. What helped me, and another thing that helped me was service. I was sad. After that time, I gave my life to Christ, and I was sad. Not just a church goer. I was serving with zeal. I was serving with my heart, and God was seeing it. I was not doing eye service. I was serving with my heart. I was serving with everything in me.
Okay, so thank you so much, Austin Rita. Thank you so much for coming. God bless you. Okay, so we're so sorry for taking your time. We started late, and network try to frustrate our effort today. But thank God our guest was able to show her face. So in case you're coming across this video now, please endeavor to watch from the beginning so that you can see our guest face. Her phone is bad, her network is bad. We have to do a WhatsApp call. So you have heard her story from prison to grace. Today she's graduated from the university. She went on scholarship to do her R.A.I.N.B.O.W. Today she's a stylist, she's a sexual, because she did not allow her story to define her. She let God change the narratives. So I don't know what you're going through. My interest, if you notice, I was really interested in her mental health. How did you deal with it? What were you going through at that point in time? And you know that it was really a mess. And Nigerian prison, African prison is really a whack. I don't know. Prison is supposed to correct people. It ends up devastating and destroying people. I just hope the government will watch this video and try to, put in effort to change our prisons. Let it be a place that is a correctional facility, not a place to mess people up the more. So whatever it is you're facing right now, always know that there is light at the end of the tunnel. Trust God that is going to come through for you, and be prayerful. You see, she prayed and she did not bow to Baal, because the father's friend that was standing as the only important, the mighty man, but there is an almighty. Yahweh himself, the Almighty, the father's brother, father's friend, got to a point that he said, you either sleep with me or I drop the case. I will not help you again. And so I asked her that time, why didn't you sleep with him? And she said no, she couldn't do that because it will leave a hole in her life that she cannot deal with. Very important. At the point where it looks like you're between the devil and the deep sea, don't just bow to the pressure of accepting something very easy. No. There's always a way out if you trust in God. Please try to be sincere, be truthful, so that when things happen, somebody will know how to help you. Because if she has been stealing and stealing and stealing, the madam will bring all that out and say, oh, she's been stealing since she has been with me. But what happened? God came through for her. Well, so we say, commit thy ways unto the Lord. Say, he will guide, he will direct you. Even the evil we bring to ourselves, because I had to tell her that what came to you is not God. Don't say God allowed it. You allowed it. Your greed, your covetousness. You wanted to make money. You wanted to see them change money so that you become a big girl. That was what led you to the dungeon. But I thank God that God, he said, he's the one that settled the poor from the dungeon. God came through for her. And to the madam, I don't know wherever she is, if this video can get to that woman, I want to say you are the real MVP, a real woman. You're a wonderful person. God bless you for, allowing God to use you to set Rita free from the priest. You would have been rotting in jail because there is nobody that will come to pay you that money. So whatever this woman is, Rita, if you know her, you can tag her, whatever be her name, to this video, and let her know that I appreciate her for doing that wonderful thing. And so for everybody that is hurting people, something like of this nature would have happened to you, please, the people that hurt you, most of them are innocent. They just fell under the trap of these evil people that call themselves 419. So if you're listening to me, this is the wrap for the month of September, Kiss and Tell. And peradventure, you have a wonderful story you'd like to share with us. It can heal you, it can heal somebody else. Please contact us, and I will see you again on the last Sunday of October. It's Kiss and Tell with Auntie Kelechi. Real people, real stories, and real experiences. Thank you for staying tuned. God bless you. I love you.